Hey y'all, it's Allison here, and I just completed day 10 of my Daniel fast for weight loss. And I'm not gonna lie, today was a little bit of a struggle. I had some temptations that I did not succumb to, but I did end up succumbing to one of the temptations, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But it was a good day. I started the day out watching great YouTube videos that were inspiring me, just to in different skills, like inspire me in different skills that I want to develop, and also in watching motivational videos that were keeping me motivated, both on the track that I'm on with my fast and everything like that. And a long time ago, about 10 years ago, I read a book by a Harvard professor named Jim Collins, and the book is called Good to Great. And basically, the book is a 10-year case studies of all of these companies that were either mediocre or good and became great. And each of the companies have a comparison company where they were in the same industry, started out on the same level, but the company that became great made different moves that caused it to go and become a great company. And there's criteria on what all those things were. And then some of the comparison companies are not even around today, whereas back then they were considered a well-known company. Some of the companies are still around. Some of the comparison companies are still around, but some are not. And so basically, this book is an outline, almost like a formula, for lack of a better word, of how these companies became good, went from good or mediocre to great. And it's an outline on how you can apply this to your own life or to your own business. And I highly recommend that you read the book. I've read the book 3 times. It's actually the reason why I'm at the company that I'm at today, because the company that I work for is one of the companies that became great. And I'm very grateful to be at this company. But the whole book was a takeaway, as most of the books that I read are. But I just want to give you one of what the chapter is about. So basically, each chapter is a piece of the puzzle to what made them become great. And the case study started out to see if there were similarities in the way they operated. And as it turned out, there were similarities, thus the book. So one of the parts of the puzzle were the people. So the companies that went from good or mediocre to great realized that their people were their biggest asset. And they weren't looking for people that needed to be motivated. They strategically targeted people to join their company who were already self-motivated. So how can we apply this to our lives, or to this, to make this relevant to the fast? If you're watching any of these types of videos, whether it be mine, it's not a lot of you watching mine as of today. We're in 2020. I just started doing this, and that's okay. I'm not doing it for that reason. I'm doing it, hopefully the person who needs to be watching this is watching this. And I know that's how things work. So if you're watching this or any other like fasting videos or things like that to keep yourself motivated, that in and of itself shows that you're self-motivated, because you're gravitating towards these things because you want inspiration to keep going on this path, which is living a healthy life. It's almost futile to try to get people on board with you, even if it's a family member, if they don't want to be on board. So I guess what I'm trying to say is don't try to push this way of living down someone's throat. Be more of lead by example type of a person. That actually may get you a better result if your end goal is, for instance, to convert your family members over to a plant-based life or a vegan lifestyle. It may not ever happen. I flew with a person. I'm a flight attendant. I flew with a gal who's now she's been vegan for 4 years, and she says no one in her family is vegan. Her daughter's not, her brother's not. She's the only one who's vegan, and that's okay. So you don't have to try to motivate or inspire someone to adopt a healthy lifestyle, because if they want to, they're going to gravitate towards you just by you living being an example. And the other thing is, you might run into cases where someone might try to get you to eat things that you don't want to eat because you know it's bad for you. So they're doing the other thing. I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier for that person to have this type of impact on you than for you to have the other impact, especially if this is new, if this is new, if this is a new lifestyle, because this is a seed that's still growing. I know right now in the stage that I'm at, this is a seed that is still growing in me. It's not a it's not a it hasn't turned into a big old oak tree yet. It's still a little seed. It's barely sprouting. And so I'm working at this because this is a priority in my life. I want to be healthy. I want to eat healthy. And but I have to work at it, like with anything else that is new in your life, and that is a shift that you're making, because this is a shift for me. So, having said that, I've been, I know that, well, right now we're in August of 2020, towards the end of it, and in September 2020, we have Labor Day, and that's when people start barbecuing and doing all that stuff. And I start to, I am a sucker for barbecue. I love barbecue. So, I've already started Googling recipes where I can make vegan ribs. And I'm not going to eat it now. I can't have it now because I can't have it on my fast right now. I am almost halfway through my fast, but I'm already making plans for that to happen. And I've just been Googling just recipes in general, so I can add it to the things I'm going to start doing going forward when I'm out of my fast. Because right now it's mainly veggies and nuts and seeds. So if so, I highly encourage you to get the book Good to Great. You can get it on audiobook. I've read it. Um, an actual copy of the book, and I've also listened to it on audiobook twice. And then there's a follow-up book to that called Great by Choice. I've read that 3 times. This same author wrote Built to Last and How the Mighty Fall. You may have heard of it. They've all been on bestsellers. I haven't read those yet. I am going to eventually. I have so many books in my library that I have to read, and there's only so much time in the day to get to all of them. But I would definitely highly recommend that you read the book Good to Great, because for me, I had a lot of little shifts about happening while I was reading the book. For instance, I remember this was 10 years ago, because I started reading the book. It was either 2009, 2010, somewhere around there, that I read it for the first time. That chapter about, people who are self-motivated, blah, 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 blah. I used to be the type, I am a cheerleader by nature. I have a cheerleader personality. Well, I used to gravitate towards people who seemed to be, everything in their life seemed to be just not going well. They didn't seem to have a plan on how they were going to make it right. And so now, here I am, a natural cheerleader, like, oh, you know what? You can do this, you can do this, let's do this together, we can beat this. And next thing you know, I find myself becoming friends with a person who just wants to stay stuck where they are. Or maybe they don't even feel stuck. Maybe they just like to complain. I don't know. But, you know, enough of that. I gave that up, you know, like I'm not, that's not what I'm here for. That is not good for me, and it's not good for the other person either, because now I'm doing this enabling a person who just needs to be like, I don't know, always told something with no plan of action on how they're going to make themselves get into a better place. So, so that alone was a major shift that has saved a lot of time in my life, and has spared me a lot of energy. So, anyhow, we're in this together. It's 2020. We're, of course, experience a lot of different things. One of them is the COVID, you know. For me, it, you know, just this disease, virus going around, you know, maybe it was one of the things that triggered me thinking, you know, I have to get into better eating habits and things like that. So I'm making these videos. They're my journals, and they're keeping me accountable. So if you're doing the same thing, leave a comment. Let me know what some of your struggles are. Oh, and there was one thing I forgot to tell you. I did not. Okay, I told you that I had a. At the beginning of this video, I told you that I had a temptation. So that temptation was I was flying from Fort Myers to Baltimore. In the Fort Myers airport, there's a Burger King, and Burger King has an Impossible Burger. And oh my God, I was craving that Impossible Burger. It's completely vegan, but it's not allowed on this fast that I'm doing. Anyhow, I didn't get one. I resisted. I get to Baltimore. I have a crash pad here in Baltimore that I stay in, and what I did eat was an apple and a kiwi. Now the apple was okay because at day one I said that that's the only sugar. If we absolutely have to have some sugar, we can allow ourselves an apple. So I had the apple, but I also had the kiwi too. So that wasn't necessarily part of the plan, but if we're gonna look at the silver lining, I did not eat the Impossible Burger, and I think I've passed that hump of wanting it, you know, because got here, filled my belly with some good things, some squash. Let me see, I had some sunflower seeds, and it was enough, you know, the apple and the kiwi, and some seltzer water. It was enough. It took me through that hump. So, all right. So this was the end of day 10. I'm proud of you. If you would like to leave a comment on the video, I would welcome that. Anything I can do better, anything you would like to share. If you liked the video, if you can give me a thumbs up. If you did not like the video, give me a thumbs down. I appreciate it all. You're also welcome to share the video. I would appreciate that as well. And I believe if you subscribe, you can get notifications of other videos that I upload. I upload almost every day. Okay, it's Ellison, and I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow, day 11. Bye.